flight time. I come to you live from Forest, Virginia, which is a area in Bedford County near Lynchburg, where I have my sister and I inherited the family farm and make residence here. For those of you that don't know, I will be on a cruise next week. I'm not sure if, when, or how I'll be able to do shows, as it's questionable on how much as Brett the Cat's objecting to the fact that I'm leaving. You can hear him objecting in the background. He's allowed to join us at any time. You guys know Brett the Cat. But anyway, I'll be on a cruise next week. I'm going to be on a Norwegian Sun. I sail on Monday. It's a crazy full weekend for me here. So I got a ball game Saturday night. I've got to pull the trailer out of Liberty University Sunday, bring it back to the farm, and then be in Roanoke, an hour away at it's 4 a.m. or something. It's ridiculous to fly down to Port Canaveral, or fly to Orlando and then bus over to Port Canaveral for my cruise. Anyway, for a change, there's not a whole lot on the agenda today. The main story that came out of anything yesterday was Carnival Corporation announced that 2 of its cruise brands signed an agreement with the government in the Bahamas to build 2 major port developments. And that was according to a press release yesterday afternoon. Carnival Corporation will develop a new port destination primarily for its cruise lines on Grand Bahama Island. Of course, that was an area hit hard with the hurricane recently. They also will have a construction of a new addition, including a pier on Little San Salvador, which is better known as Half Moon Key, for the Holland America portion of the Carnival line. The Grand Bahama project will cost approximately $100 million, and the Little San Salvador project about $80 million over the time of the development. So Carnival, of course, it's no surprise that all of the cruise lines have a major investment and continue to make a major investment in the Bahamas. They all pitched in and have helped tremendously with since Hurricane Dorian here several weeks ago. They did a good job with that. As much as I'll fuss at the cruise lines for some of their lack of environmental things, they certainly have pitched in and helped out when it was needed the most. This is obviously this was not an overnight decision by either the Bahamian government or Carnival. This has been in the works for some time, and they just signed the documents and are heading off in that direction. Hopefully the projects will be completed by mid 2020. So we're talking about a major project with construction, et cetera, that'll be done in less than a year. So hats off to the planning on that. All right, the other story, of course, this time of year, and it's getting old, but we still got to track weather. And for a change, there's not a whole lot to report on those areas today. You've got a tropical storm Karen, which is now, as 5 o'clock, is still moving at 15 miles an hour. It's weakened down to 40 miles an hour. It's up there, north of Puerto Rico, where it's supposed to do this little loop-de-loop thing and then head west possibly toward the Bahamas and Florida. or it could just fizzle out and die. So there's really, at this point, we still don't know. It's should go into this little loop-de-loop thing where it's actually going to go north and east and circle around back to the west. It should start on that little loopy thing later on today. There's still some possibility of strengthening because it's still over pretty warm water out there. But who knows what's going to happen with Karen. The other thing is Lorenzo, which we expected was going to be a big, massive storm, became a hurricane yesterday. It currently has 100-mile-an-hour winds. The pressure is down to 974. It's moving also at 15 miles an hour. It is expected to make a gradual turn to the north and just go out to sea. It's not. It doesn't look at this point like it's going to affect anything. Just be a big major hurricane that we don't have to deal with, which that's pretty cool. So it's going to make this big sweeping turn probably starting later today and just head up into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and go to wherever hurricanes go when they die. The other two things to report is on the Pacific side of things. And these, again, are not anything major. They're two depressions, one which is right off of Central America, kind of in the furthest eastern point in the Pacific, is a disturbance that has a 20% chance of formation of a cyclone in the next 48 hours. And then there's one that's out due south of the Yucatan, which has a 40% chance of further development. Neither are at this point are expected to be anything major. So for a change, not a whole lot to report on the weather situation this morning. Thank goodness. So that's about it for today. There wasn't a whole lot going on yesterday. Most of the stories that you've probably heard about, things like Norwegians doing away with plastic bottles, that's been around a while. The Liberty of the Seas they were delayed sailing on, that's been back 4 days ago now, on the sailing from Galveston because of propulsion issues, and they put divers in the water. There's Brat the Cat. Brat the Cat comes to make an appearance this morning. What do you know? So if he knocks the computer off, we'll blame it on him. He's liable to hit the camera with his tail. But anyway, Liberty of the Seas, they put the divers in the water. They worked on the azopods. And I guess they got it fixed because they sailed and they're going into Jamaica today, and everything seems to be fine there, at least that I've been able to gather. So that was from actually news from 4 days ago. I think it was 3 days ago. But anyway, there's just not much going on. So that's good. That's it for today. I'll be back with you on Saturday morning, and then have no idea on next week what my schedule is going to be like. So if you see that I'm live, great. If I'm not live, I'll get some videos up when I get a chance, when I have signals, when I have Wi-Fi. I don't know what the situation is going to be until I get down there and we go to a couple stops in the Bahamas and then stop at Key West and see if I've got service. At this point, I don't know. So we'll see. Regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. If you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, my interview is called Chillie Chats. And of course, travel and cruise industry news on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 6 a.m. hit the little subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner. Click on the bell notification. You'll be notified as soon as I go live or as soon as I post a new video. And hopefully, if I get a little time, there will be a new video going up later on today. But anyway, that's a question mark because I never know how my day's going to go. But anyway, hit the little the bell notification system. And as always, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. That's always good to see. YouTube likes to know those kind of things. So that's it for now. I'll be back with you Saturday morning, or if anything major happens in the meantime, we'll either go on, put a video up as quickly as possible, or do another live broadcast. But for now, this is Chillie from Chillie's Cruises. Later, y'all.